we go. Recording is started. So welcome to our coach sneak peek. We're going to share our lives with you tonight.
Alyssa, this is like a show just for you. I don't think you realize
I know. I
this.
feel like I can make all sorts of faces and like and judge you guys and just just kidding.
Do whatever you want to us.
It wouldn't be the first time. We're good.
We can handle it. Okay,
I'll go ahead and start. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I'll go ahead and start.
though.
Yeah, that's great because I get easily distracted. So, okay, my name is Tammy Gillis. I am also one of the coaches. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about my story and how I got started. And we're all going to kind of do that. We're going to share a little bit about our stories and, some of the things that we had to overcome in order to be coaches. And so I'm going to start. And I am celebrating my 4-year anniversary this month in February. So I've been coaching for 4 years. Crazy. I did my first Beachbody program ever. It will be 5 years ago in May when I started out with the 21-day fix program, trying to lose baby weight. After baby number 3, I was 36-ish years old, and it was a lot harder that time to lose the weight. And so one of my friends had success with the program that she'd been sharing on social media. So how ironic is that? And I was like, I'm going to try it. And I tried it. I had amazing results. I lost the baby weight. I lost 11 pounds in 3 weeks. And so my story kind of started there. So I fell in love with 21-day fix, but then I let life kind of get in the way, and I was on again, off again with the workout programs. And I went a few months and I tried another Beachbody program. This is when everything was on DVDs and you had to order a new program. So I tried a new program, got into that. And again, it was like this off again thing with me. And then finally in that December, I got in my first challenge group, which was like a game changer for me because I just struggled with I needed accountability. I just couldn't, was surrounded by people who couldn't stick with the workout on my own. So I needed accountability. So I got in a challenge group and I fell in love with the atmosphere and was in the challenge group for a couple months. And then the challenge group ended and I was like, now what do I do? And so I just completely on a whim said, hey, I'm going to just start my own challenge group. I didn't know what that meant exactly, but I was like, these girls have been doing it. I'm just going to start my own challenge group just because I needed the support and accountability. So I signed up as a coach, honestly, not having any idea. And I was not, I had lost the baby weight, but I wasn't at the fitness level that I wanted to be. I wasn't, I wasn't fully committed yet. And I still didn't know anything about fitness or nutrition. I still struggled with all that. I was slowly learning that when I signed up to be a coach. So that's how I got started. And I slowly just got into the business. I just kind of dipped my toes in it because like I said, I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I would post something on social media, or I'd ask a couple friends if they wanted to join me. And then I started seeing my friends getting a result. They were falling in love with the programs too. And it just became this this passion of mine, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with all of the programs. I fell in love with the community. I got got to meet people like Blake and Aaron and people that I would have never met before, and I just fell in love with the community. And that's how I got started, having no clue what I was doing. And that's something I really wanted to touch on because I know a lot of people think, and especially, because I've been doing this for 4 years, so I'm pretty fit at this point, I would say. have reached that fitness level. Well, I'm always reaching for a new fitness level, but I'm pretty fit, but I wasn't that way when I started coaching. I wasn't, I don't want to say I struggled with a weight issue or anything like that, but I was super unhealthy, and I was not in shape. And I know a lot of people think that you have to be in shape when you start a coach, and that's actually not true at all, because I don't think any of us were when we started coaching, and I know I wasn't, and I certainly didn't know anything about nutrition. And I will be 100% honest with you, like, nutrition is something that I struggle with still, even now, 4 years into it. I am by no means a nutrition expert at all. And that's why I'm so freaking excited about this new Ultimate Portion Fix that is coming out, because I'm going to get to learn from Autumn Calabrese herself, like, all about the Portion Fix containers, and how to better help my challengers reach their goals, and how to help, my family and just learn more about nutrition, because like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm always learning. So I'm super excited that is going to be taking place next week, that we get to start doing that, because that's going to be super helpful. And that's just the beautiful thing about this company, is that they're always providing us with tools to help us help our customers. We don't have to know everything, and we don't have to be fitness experts, because we have personal trainers that come into our house every day, via our Beachbody On Demand. So we don't need to be fitness experts, and they're always giving us the tools to learn and better help our challengers. So it's pretty exciting that you don't have to really know what you're doing, and I'm certainly proof of that. So that's a little bit about my story. Blake, you want to take over and share your story a little bit?
Sure. I'll be super brief, because mine's super similar to Tammy's story. But the long and short is, I got, had my second baby, needed something to get the baby weight off, and my sister-in-law had done 21 Day Fix, and I was like, I'll just give it a try. And for the first time in my life, I had like toned muscles and abs, which is insane to even say after having 2 kids. Like, that should have been happening, when you're like 18, and that never happened. And Alyssa, we've talked a lot about, just having like an athletic background, and, always been like fit and in shape, and then you have kids and they just mess you all up. Well, like 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme, like, really helped get me back afterwards. And I fell in love with Shakeology. I signed up as a coach just because I wanted the discount. That was the only reason I did it. And then friends and family started seeing my results and were like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, here, I guess you could buy from me. And then they started buying stuff from me. And I very slowly turned into like a coach. And I have a full-time job. It's not like, I ever intended this to be like a full-time job. I do it as a part-time thing. I still love my job as a writer and an editor. And I don't intend to like stop that. But finally I have like a community of like really awesome fit friends, because I was lacking that after I left college and stopped playing soccer. I didn't have that team element anymore. And this gives me that, where we're like all on the same page and like love to work out and all that kind of stuff, and just joke around and just, talk about our crappy kids sometimes and how our husbands suck, and, PTO stuff, all that, stuff. And basically, it gave me an outlet too, to talk about something that I really, really liked, which is health and fitness. And people were always asking me, well, what should I do about this? Or what move would do this? Or, what do you suggest? And it just sort of gave me that outlet to talk about it too. And so it started as a discount, turned into like a hobby thing, like a fun little thing I do on the side, and it makes, some money on the, extra money. And then I would say in the last year, it's really become more than that. And it's become, I would consider it another job, but you certainly don't have to take it to that level. And that's sort of the beauty of it. You can do as little or as much as you want. So there are a bunch of people on our team who just want to sign up and get 25% off the awesome products. And then there are some people who want the discount, and then they, when they have a friend or a family member or neighbor, they sign them up through them and they work with us in their challenge groups. And then there are some of us like myself and Erin and Tammy who have made it into like a job, like another job, and not necessarily because, we need, the money or whatever. It's just sort of like, it's a fun thing. And so one of the big things that people always say to me too, when they become a coach and why they don't want to do it, is because they don't want to sound salesy. And I'm 4 years into it this month too. So Tammy and I have like the same anniversary date. And I still worry about that. I never want to sound salesy. And my biggest thing I can say is it's just like when you go to a restaurant in town and it's like amazing and you're just sharing your experience with somebody. Like if I took a bar class down the street and I just absolutely loved it, you better believe I'm going to go tell like my good friends and be like, I just took this bar class and it was freaking amazing. Like it kicked my butt. It's the same thing with these workouts and the nutrition. It's like, you guys would not believe the Transform 20 workout I did today. Like it kicked my butt. It was just absolutely killer. It's the same way. So you're just sharing what you love. And I always say you go with your gut. If you feel icky about something, if it makes you feel like I wouldn't want to receive that message from somebody, or I don't feel comfortable sending that message, then you don't do it. You just go with what like feels good in your heart. So I've, of course, at times been nervous about sounding salesy or whatever, but what I found is the more real I am about it and show how much I just really, really love it and what it's done for me, I never feel like a salesperson at all. I don't feel like, I'm trying to get people to like, come buy my product. I don't feel like that at all. So I think that's one of the biggest things that people are worried about when they become a coach. But again, there's all different ways to do it. You can just go for the discount, make it sort of like a hobby thing, or you can make it like a full-time job, which I'll sort of pass off the baton to Erin, because that's pretty much where she's at right now. So you can make it a part-time thing too. You don't have to quit your job. You can stay home with your kids, whatever, and still do it. I have the flexibility being a freelancer working from home that I can, make my own hours. So it makes it, really easy for me to do. But other people do it too all the time. So, all right, Erin, I'll let you go.
Yeah, let's take a step back to the start of my story though, because, Blake was just saying how I'm taking it to a full-time job. Well, not there quite totally yet. It is, and I didn't start off as wanting that. And even ever, like, not even 1 ounce of me thought that, much less have it as a dream. Like, what? No. It just never even crossed my mind. So I started with Beachbody 3 years ago. And I started also with 21 Day Fix. And I started when my son was about 2.5. And for me, I guess it was about losing baby weight, but I was in a space of complete denial. I didn't realize I needed to make a change in my life, but I was definitely getting to a place of chronic pain in my back, in my shoulders, my neck, my hips. Weight was beginning to add on to my body, and I've always been somewhat smaller, but it was definitely going the other direction. But I was truly in this belief of, no, this is just how my body is. There's nothing I can do about it. I've always been a pretty active person. I live in Colorado. I live in the mountains. I ski on the weekends in the winter. I mountain bike on the weekends in the summer. always doing something. And then I also used to, near this time when I first started with Beachbody, owned an indoor cycling studio. So, hey, we see Alyssa. There she is. So, you know, I was in this big space of denial of, no, I'm active. I already go to the gym. I know what I'm doing. I know how to eat healthy. You know, my mom brought me up eating healthy. She wouldn't let me have any sugar cereal growing up. I wasn't allowed to eat hot dogs. None of that in my life. So I just really very much now see I was in this space of denial. And I had a friend invite me to do this program. She was a local friend, and to do the challenge group. And I said no, and I said no, and I said no. And she just kept inviting me. And I eventually said yes. And I thought, I was also actually suffering from migraines as well. Every single time I went to the gym, I'd get a migraine, and very severe migraines. I have auras where I lose all kind of consciousness, like lose people's names, words, vision in my eye, and I'll be kind of out of it for 2 days. So it's pretty bad. And it was every time I was going to the gym. And it was happening also when I ski, and I'm a big skier. So it was like it was affecting my life. And so she invited me to this, and I thought, well, maybe working out at home will be a little bit better than the gym, because something's wrong, something's going wrong. And I liked the idea of the 30 minutes. And I liked the look of the containers of the nutrition system. I'm like, that makes sense to my brain. My analytical brain can handle that. And I liked the sound of the shake. I can manage that in my busy life. So I joined it. And I hated it for the first 2.5 weeks. I thought it was complete bull. There's no way this is going to work for me. I was doing it. I followed it as it was written, but I just didn't believe in it. I now know I wasn't believing in me. You know, when you look back on things, you see things differently. And then 2.5 weeks in, it was literally like a click within me. Something changed. And it was like a lifestyle change. Like I wanted the apple. I didn't want the popcorn anymore. I actually wanted to work out, even though it didn't make sense to my day to fit it in. And I was, really struggling with everything else in life. And I finished the program. And at the end of the 3 weeks, I lost 10 pounds and 10 inches. And like Blake said, never before in my life had something like that happened. No matter what I had done before. When I was teaching spin 7 days a week, I couldn't lose a single pound, not one. I never before I had toned muscles, and they were starting to like tone up. I'm like, are you kidding me? So then I was hooked, and my friend said, okay, well, I was liking Shakeology. I want to continue on. I want to do the 21-day fix extreme. She said, here's the coach membership for the discount. Perfect. No inkling of ever wanting to do anything else. I'm way too busy. You got to be crazy. And working full-time in a corporate job, driving an hour each way to work with my son, there's just no way. And then friends and family, like others, started to ask me, what in the world did you do? And I realized, well, gee, all I have to do is send them a link. I don't even need to buy product and ship them product or anything. I send them a link. And I'm going to tell them about this anyways, because I'm a big sharer. I don't keep things quiet. And then boom, Beachbody pays me. Wow, this is awesome. And so then it just literally started to grow from there. And so I started sharing it in that way with people asking me, and then started to host challenge groups, and then just really enjoyed interacting with people and realized, oh my goodness, this is the thing I have always looked for. I've been in software my whole entire career. I'm 42. And anytime somebody asks me, what do you do? I've always been kind of embarrassed, because most of my friends that I run into, they're a teacher. Liz is a teacher. She's one of my dear friends. My nose is running. They are in nursing. They are a PT. They do something that is helping people out in the world for the better. And I always felt like, gee, okay, what I do, I'm really good at it. And sure, it helps people with their jobs, but it's not ultimately helping people. There was something missing for me, and I could never put my finger on it. And I had looked into going back to school in the past, but I was just like, there's just no way. There's no, and this was even before kids. I was like, no way am I gonna, I can't, I don't have that money. How am I gonna go back to school? How do I don't have the capacity in me to go to school and work. I just didn't, now I work harder than I did then. And so I just never did it. And then all of a sudden I started coaching and I started helping people get healthy and just working with people one-on-one. And I just went, oh my God, I have chills, like, holy crap, it's here. This is what I've always wanted. And it's just right here. I don't need to go to school. I don't need to go set something else up. I don't need to go do these crazy trainings. I can just do it right here and now. I'm doing it already. So I have been building this slowly over 3 years, because yes, it is a learning curve always as with anything, not quite the same as going back to school, but also like a process to kind of get to this point of, yes, this is what I want to do. And literally last Monday, this whole past month or so, I decided, okay, here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go apply for part-time jobs. I'm going to go apply for anything, but out of the corporate world. I'm going to start teaching group fitness classes again, because I love doing that too. And it ties into what I'm doing here. To help supplement my income as I build this business, to free up emotional space so I can build this business, and free up some time too so I can build this business. And so I got a part-time job. Holy crap. I quit my job, my corporate job, last Monday, and my last day will be Friday. And oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, there's nothing else to say, so here we go. I'm doing it. And, sometimes when doors open and you just finally see some opportunities and you start to believe in yourself, you just have to go for it. It makes absolutely no sense for me in a lot of ways for me to be doing this right now. But in a lot of ways, it makes complete sense. So here we go. We're going to do this. Now, I also wanted to talk a little bit about how I fit it in with working full-time, because, like I said, it doesn't always make sense to just quit your job. Like, that's not what this is all about. Maybe it is for you, but, I have fitted in with a full-time 40-hour-a-week job. Liz has done that as well. There are times Blake is working that hard also, as a journalist. Tammy's working a gazillion-hour-a-week job as a full-time mom. So the way we fit it in is you just kind of work in power pockets of time. There are little moments here and there where you've got 5, 10, 15 minutes where you're sitting there with the kids. Oh, the dog just did something bad. You're sitting there with the kids. They're watching cartoons. Well, I don't need to watch cartoons with him. I can be on my phone and I can send 10 connection messages to people or invites to people. And I've just progressed my business forward. So that's how I've worked this business in little power pockets of time that I have while working full time. So there are lots of little tips and techniques that we have on our team to do that, to work, to have a busy life, because every single one of us is just as busy as the other and will always continue to be. And so there are absolute ways to fit anything you want in life into your life. You just have to want it, that's all, and believe in yourself. So there we go. Holy crap, we're doing it. And Jackson just, I don't know what he's eating. You also, here's how you do it. You just ignore Jackson and you let him run to I-70. The girls know Jackson. He's a rotten dog.
He's not that bad.
He's craziness. So Blake, you said something.
Oh no, I mean, with the Power Pockets, I mean, like I got my hair done today, clearly, and got my hair cut and whatnot. And afterwards, I sat in the car for about, I don't know, 10 minutes and just did, 10 minutes of work real quick, and then went and picked my littlest up from preschool. And that's really how it works. And now I'm just a little more structured in fitting it into my day I literally like schedule it out, knowing, okay, I've got to get this done for like, real job. And then for coaching stuff, then I fit it in and I make them like, literally it's like, okay, 10 minutes, this is what I do. And I set my timer and I just do it for 10 minutes. And then when it's done, it's done. And for the most part, between, when my kids get home, I'm not working. Like I say that my like office hours are, 9 to 1. I mean, it's when my kids are in school, because I want to be present when my kids are around. So occasionally I'll try, I'll answer like some questions or whatever if they pop up. But for the most part, I try to leave my phone inside and go outside with my kids and whatnot. So I would say a good percentage of people who are coaches are moms juggling, being stay-at-home moms, or maybe, work from home, stay-at-home moms, or full-time working moms. That's the gist of it for the most part. But Alyssa, do you have any questions for us at all?
I don't think so. I mean, it's super interesting to hear you guys, but I feel this, I don't know. I think that it's really helpful to hear your perspectives on things. Erin, I am like so happy for you. Like just hearing your voice and how excited you sound to like be on this adventure. I'm kind of like, you go, girl, way to go.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
at least
like,
tonight I didn't ugly cry. You should have been on the call last night. Ooh,
yeah,
it was rough.
I would
Thank
totally,
you so much.
I would totally get it if you were ugly crying. Like that's got to be kind of scary and exciting and liberating at the same time. I keep looking over at the monitor. I've got 2 kids that are, and one of them is crying. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
I'm going to mute so I can call my husband.
It's all good. We get it. Oh, where'd you guys go? Oh, here you are. I hit a button.
Oh, I thought somebody else hopped on. No.
I hit a funny button. Well, see, she's already getting.
I gave up my monitor. So Hunter's still on a monitor, and I'm like, you know what? If you need something, you can come down and you can come talk to me if you need something. She sits there and she yells in bed and yells. Oh, me!
Eben does the same thing.
Like, you can get out of bed. You're not in a crib.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if there's anything else. Alyssa, I mean, I can follow up with you if you have any questions about anything,
Yeah. I know. I'm trying to think if I do. I mean, for me right now, I definitely, my level of involvement would have to be like discount involvement.
Yeah.
So like I teach full time, and I have a 5-year-old and a 9-month-old. And my husband is starting on Monday as the head varsity lacrosse coach at a local school. And so he's gone in the evenings.
Yeah.
And I'm just bracing myself for what that's going to look like, for me for the next couple months. But I've done, through Blake's suggestion, I did 21 Day Fix Extreme, and which I did for like 31 days.
Yeah.
I kind of, I just kind of kept doing it, and I would miss a day here, and then I would miss 2 days. And so I just kind of kept cycling through the calendar. And I didn't really lose weight, which is it's tough, because I still have like 30 pounds to go from my little 9-month-old monster. And I wasn't expecting the second kid to like destroy my body the way, because I was 35 when I had my first, and I gained 50 pounds. And I'm tall, I'm 5'10", luckily, because I gained 50 pounds. But I had lost all of it and then some by the time he was like 4 months old. Yeah. And I was nursing, and I thought, oh, well, that's why, you know, I'd heard all these moms say, oh yeah, you'll lose it like that. And I did. So the second time around, as I'm now 40, I thought the same thing was going to happen. And I was like, woo, watch me, you know, I did this the first time, woo, you know, and everybody's like, oh God, are you sure? I'm like, oh yeah, give me more. And, I lost like 20 within like the first like 2 weeks. Like it was like water weight and baby weight, and it was gone. And I was like, oh yeah, here we go. And that was all. Like that was it. And I've been sitting on this other like 30 pounds now for, you know, 9 months. And so that's what got me started. I'm like, I need to do something. And I'm in Syracuse. The winters are horrible here. They start sometimes in October, and they end sometimes. We had a snowstorm on Mother's Day once. So it's just, the winters are brutal. I don't get outside, and you just, you know, how you just feel gross already. And now I feel more gross, you know? And so I had to do something. So I did that. But even though I didn't lose the weight, I felt stronger. My energy level improved. And it was the first time I had like really consistently, consecutively exercised in a while. Prior to having my 5-year-old, I was playing on a million adult sports teams. Like I was always an athlete. I hated to like exercise, as in like exercise that felt like exercise. Like sports never felt like exercise to me. You know, like I could be on the basketball court or the soccer field. I played adult co-ed kickball. I mean, I did all of that stuff, and I loved it because it was a sport. Like I was having a good time. And those opportunities aren't available to me right now, you know? And so I needed to do something. And so I stuck with 21 Day Fix because I did feel like, okay, you feel better. Like the weight, you know, the scale says pretty much the same thing, but you feel better. So just keep going. And then Blake suggested Shift Shop, because I was getting kind of like, it was just getting dull for me, you know. 21 Day Fix was just kind of feeling old. And so Chris is my new boyfriend. Yeah. He doesn't know that. And I've only watched him, I think today was my 4th video, but I'm like, hi, Chris. And Blake was totally right. It's that stuff that reminds you of like double sessions, trying out for, you know, in high school, and like just that kind of thing. And I like the variety, and I like the speed, and I like him.
I love
so, yeah. So yeah. This is the 4th day, but it's the prep week. So like tomorrow I start where I forget what they call them. You record like actually how many of each exercise. It's I forget what he calls it, but which I think will be good for me too. Like feeling like I have to keep track of something and then see if I can do it better next time. And that'll be motivating for me. So yeah, I'm just hoping, I'm hoping that this time around, maybe I see more results, you know. Like I'm worried that I might lose my motivation if I don't start losing a little bit of weight. But I also, the nutrition piece, like I just haven't done, you know, I don't, so I know that that's a huge part of it, you know. I also am, because I'm nursing, I'm having a tough time knowing like calorie wise, like what I really should be doing. You know, I don't want to deplete my supply, and I'm going to be weaning soon.
Yeah. You know, sorry to interrupt, but we actually only have 1 minute left on this.
Oh.
Zoom thing, they're going to literally cut us off is what they do.
Yeah, sorry.
You know that Ultimate Portion Fix, she's going to talk about how to use the containers for breastfeeding. So that'll be super duper helpful. She's actually going to address all of that in there for you.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll want those containers. They'll get you there.
Yeah.
They definitely will. Yeah, Shift Shop is amazing. So keep at it and comment about it in our groups, because that'll be huge, because I think other people will like that program too.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. They'll just literally go to our meeting, and I didn't want you to get off in between.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.